The Carter administration, citing rising coal production figures, has indicated that it will probably not seek a back-to-work order if the striking soft coal miners reject the latest contract offer. The miners will begin voting tomorrow on the 109th day of their strike. Robert Hager is in West Virginia.
Federal and state safety inspectors have stepped up their work here to make sure the mines are ready to operate again. But the outcome of tomorrow's vote is in doubt. In the bathhouse or changing room at Westmoreland's Uinta mine, union men met earlier this week underneath their work clothes, hanging there unused since the strike began. Local union president James Adkins had to face tough questions from his men.
They should give us the cost of living.
Well, I agree.
That's one thing that's going to discourage me on voting for this.
Like I said, I'm not trying to sell it. It's up to you guys. I'm just trying to explain it.
The men of Local 1759 heard their president criticize the proposed contract.
I think this is a rag. I think this is pitiful. I think this is a disgrace to us, and I'll not vote for it.
But the opposition may be offset by the votes of thousands back in the hollows where miners' resistance has been worn down. Men like Walter Davis, who didn't go to his union's meeting. Davis and his family are tired of the strike and out of money.
Well, I believe I'll vote for the contract because I need to go back to work, and I don't think the contract's actually that bad.
So tomorrow, the rank and file votes, and by this time tomorrow evening, we should have some idea how it's gone. But for now, most people believe it's simply too close to call. Robert Hager, NBC News in West Virginia.
Turn on, America, to a tough way to go trucking. Introducing the 78 Ford Courier with the biggest optional engine in its class and other hot options like a 7-foot bed, a super freewheeling package, and the best gas mileage ratings of the four top-selling compacts. 38 miles per gallon highway, 29 city, with standard engine and manual transmission. What's a tough way to go trucking?
Ah, crud.
Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, but skateboards cost a lot of bread.
Good reason for saving your bread. Or money, I mean, in an Imperial Freedom account.
That would take forever.
It adds up. 5.25%.
I'll buy that.
And Imperial's got over 90 offices statewide.
That's okay. I only got enough bread for one anyway. I got eyes for you.
Yuma City and county officials made their bid last night for keeping the downtown post office when the new facility opens. The Yuma postmaster said if there is a need for the downtown facility, it will stay open. A postal official from Los Angeles, Jim Lamantia, explained his part in the selection of a site for the new post office in Yuma.
Yes, what the real estate department does is look for the sites, obtain a number of sites, analyze them, get down to possibly 1 or 2 sites, and then we ask our operational people and other people within the department to evaluate it from their standpoint.
Do you consider the lowest bid?
Not really. That's the lowest bid is important, but the configuration of the site, where it's located, the traffic patterns, these all have to enter into it.
How do you answer to the pleas of city and county officials who want you to help them redevelop the downtown area and keep that post office open, perhaps build onto that one instead of considering a new facility at all?
That has been placed, that area, the old post office at this time has been placed out of our area of what we call the preferred area of operation. Why this is an operational problem is my understanding that your growth here in Yuma is going towards the south, you might say, which is within the preferred area of 12th and 32nd and Arizona and A Street. But this is the majority of the growth to best serve the people within this area.
So you, as the post office, have to go to meet the people. You can't be part of trying to get the people downtown?
We really should service the people where they're at. This is our primary purpose, yes.
27-year-old Deborah Joanne Dale of Yuma has been charged with vehicular manslaughter and was striking a pedestrian in a crosswalk stemming from the hit-and-run accident that killed winter visitor Alice Clark Tuesday night. Deborah Hale was apprehended after a Yuma police officer saw a car with a damaged front grille missing a headlight. And El Centro Bank was the subject of an attempted robbery. More from this report. The sizzling Kings sweep a great series and the Padres fall below the 500 mark. Fred Roggin in Sports 13 is next from the News Center.
Hello, I'm Charo. I want to show you what happens when you take your car to make auto painting and body works. We pound out bumps. We sand the body. We mask the chrome. We make your car sparkle. They let you pick your own color from thousands of choices. And you get your car back fast looking Gucci. So get a quality paint job at Mako.
Open at their new location from 9 to 12 on Saturdays.
Make it good, make it good, for the taste of morning sunshine, morning sunshine. Make it good, make it right for you and me, right for you and me. Taste the wild in the sky, taste the Rocky Mountain High. Make it good, make it yours.
Cova High School's having a great year, at least this early, Fred.
That's true. You know, you think about it, how good are the Kofa Kings? They may not know the answer to that question themselves. Today, the Kings swept a doubleheader from Scottsdale. They took the first game 12-4 and came back in the nightcap 6-2. Senior Larry Klein went all the way for the victory in the first one. Left-hander Randy Walling, with help from John Leroy and Robbie Hehe, took the win in the second. The Kings are now 9-0 overall. They are 2-0 in league play and are idle until a week from Friday when they will be at McClintock for a very, very important league game. Now, Imperial Valley College won their first game in the College of the Desert baseball tournament today. They knocked off Antelope Valley 10-2. The Arabs play their second round game tomorrow afternoon in Palm Springs at 2 o'clock. Now, if you like to see things out of the ordinary, well, you should have been in Mesa today for the game between the A's and the Brewers. One of the most practiced plays in the game of baseball is the pitcher covering first base. Well, one of them before that is obviously a rundown, and this one is executed very well by Milwaukee as James Scott of Oakland will be tagged down. Now, this is the pitcher covering first base, and after watching Ben Ogilvie toss this ball to the pitcher, practice makes perfect, right over his head. That error set up Jeff Newman's two-run homer in the bottom of the ninth to give the Oakland A's a 4-2 win over Milwaukee. In Yuma today, and the bars you're going to see are not jail bars. You're seated right behind home plate. Veteran pitcher Gaylord Perry rambled along for 5 strong innings this afternoon, but 6 was not a charm as he was tagged for 7 runs. The Cubs beat the Padres 7-1, and that snapped San Diego's 4-game winning streak and dropped the Padres 1 game below the 500 mark for the spring. The Padres could only manage 7 hits for the afternoon. Tomorrow, they'll be in Tucson to battle the Cleveland Indians in the first game of a very long road trip that'll keep them away from Yuma until April 3rd. Well, if the Angels stay healthy, they could win the American League West. Today, they whipped the Giants. The Dodgers destroyed the Mets. The Phillies stripped the Big Red Machine's gears, and the Blue Jays flew past the Pirates. The Expos split their squad, and one team shut out the Astros, while the other team was shut out by the Tigers. And speaking of shutouts, that's what the Twins did to the Red Sox, or a more appropriate word might be murder. The Royals kinged the White Sox, and the Rangers rode past the Yankees. 33-year-old Bud Harrelson has been traded by the New York Mets to the Philadelphia Phillies for second baseman Freddie Andrews and an undisclosed amount of cash. Now, Harrelson played on the 1969 World Championship team for the Mets. He'd been with the club 12 years. Last season, he hit 178 and 107 at-bats. And Marty Perez, who played out his option with the Oakland A's, has signed with, of all teams, the Oakland A's. Perez hit 233 last season. Lou Graham, Howard Twitty, and Bobby Walls will all share the first-round lead in the Heritage Golf Classic on Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. That trio finished the first 18 holes at 4 under par 67. Rod Curl and also Phil Hancock are 1 stroke behind the leaders at 68. Action in that tourney is going to continue tomorrow. Phil Ford of North Carolina State has been named the top college basketball player in the nation, according to the National Association of Basketball Coaches. The 6'1" forward averaged 22 points a game last season. The Writers Association, the U.S. Basketball Writers Association, also named Ford their top player next year. It's going to be the middle of April before Kofa High School will know who is going to be their new football coach. Principal Bob Sauter says that interviews for the position vacated by the resignation of Conrad Lujan will start next week. And anybody in the area who wants to interview can. I guess all you'd have to do is just call him. At this point, Sauter said there is no leading candidate, and therefore the position is wide open. Kansas State University's football team, which has compiled the worst winning percentage over the past 20 years of any major university in this country, has been placed on probation by the Big Eight for awarding too many football scholarships. Obviously, it didn't help any. No word on how severe that probation is going to be. And Leon Foot-in-the-Mouth Spinks says that he will sue the World Boxing Council for stripping him of his world heavyweight crown. That is just one day after Leon said he didn't care what the World Boxing Council did. Spinks' attorneys agree with that. They'll go to court on Monday. Philip, a final score in the NBA, 120-108. The Suns over the Knicks tonight.
2 more games.
2 more.
And the Suns qualify for the playoffs.
Right.
Automatically. Back in a moment, look at the weather.